Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Have you ever had a situation where you've either just met somebody or you've known them for a few weeks or maybe even a few months, and for whatever reason you just can't put your finger on why you don't trust this person? To your knowledge and to the best of your recollection, they've given you no reason not to trust them, but for some reason you just don't. And here's a good trust test. I actually have 3 trust tests. Number 1, would you let this person drive you somewhere? And I mean more than just, do you trust their driving skills? Is there something about it that you're like, nah, I'll drive? 2, would you let this person watch your children? Would you let this person watch your children while you run up to the grocery store for 2 hours, hour and a half? Number 3, would you let this person watch your pets? If you're going out of town for the weekend, would you trust this person wholeheartedly to watch your pets while you're gone? If the answer is no to any of those questions, this video is for you. And even if the answer is yes, but maybe no to others, or even if you're unsure on those answers, still listen, because there may still be that person who you can't figure out why you don't trust them. I'd like to shed some light on that and how it relates to narcissism. Sherry Argov wrote a book called Why Men Love Bitches, and the following quote is from that book. "No hunted animal gives the benefit of the doubt. The fox senses danger and hightails it out of there. Never be around a person who has shown you he or she is a hurtful person. If he or she does this by accident, that's one thing, but if they're hurtful on purpose, game over. You've learned everything you need to know." When I first read that book, that quote stuck with me more than anything else that I read in that book, because it really made me think, a fox in the wild, when a fox is afraid, they just run. Most of them. I'm sure there are some that are comfortable with humans at this point, will walk right up to them except food, but a wild fox in general is not going to give you or anything else the benefit of the doubt. I propose to you that we have the same exact instinct within us, and we just can't always put words to it. So for example, this person that you don't trust, and you don't know why you don't trust them, something has happened that your mind and your instincts picked up on, but that did not register in your conscious mind. Maybe it was something they said. Maybe it was the way that they looked at you. Maybe it was the way they handled the situation. But something has occurred that has put you at a sense of dis-ease with this person. You're not comfortable with them, even though they haven't done anything that you can put your finger on about. This person you're dealing with is probably a narcissist, and what you're probably picking up on is that hollow, that emptiness inside of them. Something about them just doesn't align. It's almost like 2 different colors of paint at a corner. You keep looking at it going, God, is it the same color? Or is that the shadow? No, that's the same color. No, it's not. Those are 2 different shades. Like something just isn't lining up with this person, and it's not sitting well with you. My advice to you would be, don't stick around to explore why it's not sitting well with you. The fact that it's not sitting well with you is reason enough. There's nothing else to really look into, because can you really afford to be wrong? Can you? Can you afford to be wrong about this person? Okay, you might be wrong, and if you're wrong, okay, so you lost one person that you misjudged. But what if you're right? Is that a gamble that you can take? Because it's kind of 50-50. So what if you're actually right about this person, but you say, well, they haven't done anything to me. They haven't actually done anything, for me to not want to hang out with them or see them again. They haven't actually done anything, so it just seems so rude to just not keep talking to them. It's not rude. It's self-protection, and it's safety. And it's probably a narcissist who's doing their best to put on a mask for you, but you can't fool the mind. You can't fool instincts. You can't fool that sixth sense about a person. It is very hard to know. So when something rises up in you that's like, why don't I trust this person? Why wouldn't I leave them with my pets? Why don't I really want them in my house? Why wouldn't I let them drive me somewhere? Why wouldn't I let them watch my kids? I mean, there's tons of people I'm sure you wouldn't let watch your kids, people you know very well, but why this person in particular? What is it about them that's making me say no to all of those things? The fact that you're even asking the question is reason enough. Now, I get that all relationships are different. Some relationships you can't get out of. It might be a family member. Maybe you're in a situation at work. Maybe it's a next door neighbor. Maybe it's something you can't easily get out of. And if that's the case, my advice in that situation would just simply to be take heed to the fact that you don't trust them and you don't have a reason, because that's odd. That's peculiar that you don't trust them and you don't really have a reason not to. And this advice could be taken in many different directions, but just pay attention to that instinct and don't override it. Don't invalidate it. Don't find reasons to excuse the distrust that you feel inside. You feel it for a reason. And my advice would be to take heed. If it's a relationship that you can terminate, terminate it if you can. And chances are when you terminate it, you'll see why you didn't trust this person. In another video I shared, a gentleman that wanted to take me out on a date, I told him no because I had been working all day, and he went off on me to the extent where he started telling me about his lineage and that he has a legacy and that I should be thankful, and that girls like me are the reason guys like him can't get ahead in the dating world, and the reason, all these reasons. Like, he completely showed his true colors just from me telling him no. And what was weird about him is I didn't really like him and I couldn't put my finger on why. And that's when I figured it out. As soon as I told him no that night and he completely went off on me, I'm like, there it is. There it is. That's what the old gut instinct was picking up on. That's what the old radar was picking up on. Because, he was so angry at my no. I could only imagine what would have happened if I had been in a close setting with him, not able to get away quickly. Because he obviously felt entitled to my time, my energy. He wanted me to drop everything after a long day. And there was just something off about this guy. And I just didn't know what it was because he presented very well. So I was like, well, okay, one day I'll go on a date with him. And then when he asked and I told him no, he flipped out. So my lesson there was, in the future, if you can't put your finger on it, that's even more so reason to kind of distance yourself. If you can put your finger on it, that's one thing. But if you can't put your finger on it, that's a major red flag, because that means something is super murky with this person. All right? So trust those gut instincts. Do not invalidate yourself. Don't run around bouncing the scenario off of a million different people. Leave your best friend alone. What you're feeling inside is correct. And then take the appropriate measures that you need to take to stay safe and not foster a relationship with a narcissist. Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening.